we're going to go over blade depth and proper material support. Bad cuts come from bad setup. You want to have even pressure, you want to have your blade set to the correct depth, and you have to be realistic about what its ability is to do. A good rule of thumb for skill saws is you want your blade to be hanging down somewhere between 1/4 to at most a 1/2 inch below your material. Most people, what will happen is they'll set their saw depth one time, or they'll max it out to its max depth so they can cut everything they come across, and they'll never change it from material to material. It's a safety hazard, and the saw isn't designed for it to run with that much out of the material. It's designed to be within that 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch. Don't cut between your supports. A couple ways you can support your material are things like a sawhorse here, flat surfaces, and really anything that has a flat surface with an edge that you can set it down on. The important part is to make sure that the material that you're cutting doesn't move when you cut it. That's when problems happen, and that's how people get hurt. As you can tell, there's no lines cut in these sawhorses. That's how you know it's a good sawhorse, is if there's a big saw line that goes straight through it. We're gonna go more into pinching. It's like the #1 thing that you want to avoid. So we make a mark between these two sawhorses. We're gonna see if one of these two pieces drops as the cut finishes, and if they tilt in to trap the blade.
Something else you can talk about?
Yeah.
Is like pinching will really happen when you're cutting long, like big, heavy pieces of wood.
Yeah.
You know?
Pinching, it may not have looked real scary, but when you have a big, hard piece of wood, not like these little 2x6s that I'm able to just manhandle if something does go wrong, that's when it gets really dangerous. These saws are amazing. They do great on most everything. And even the corded saws are just not designed to get pinched, and the heavier your wood and the harder it is, the more it's gonna pinch. Your cut's gonna finish. This is the piece that you wanna keep. This is the one that's scrap, trash, etc. And you want it to just fall away. This one right here is 1.5 inches. This one right here is 3/4. We're gonna set the blade depth on each of them, and there's a couple ways you can do it. Put our tape here at the center of the blade, and then move this guard out until we're right about 1 inch, so we have that 3/4 plus a 1/4 inch to make sure it goes all the way through. Pretty good. There's a little indicator line right there, and then you've got your different marks. So if we know this one is 1.5 inches, we would set this down to 1.5. And that's dead on, so we'd need to go a little bit deeper. If you can see on there, just not quite. Say you want to cut it safely, but you don't want to have your cut piece, whether it's the piece you're keeping or if it's your scrap piece, falling to the floor or dropping, or for whatever reason. What you do is you get a piece of scrap that you don't care about. You determine what the thickness is of your material that you're cutting. And you set your blade depth to be just a little bit deeper. Voila.